Hey guys, what's up? Nico again here. And in this 3D Printed Profits episode, I have with us Aaron, who also makes money with 3D printing. And we're going to go through how he got started, all that shenanigans as always. And also, as always, all the links in this video is going to be in the description below if you're on YouTube. And if you're on your favorite podcast player, it's in the show notes. Make sure you guys stay till the end for today's tip for your 3D printing business. And maybe some bonus content for when me and Aaron just kind of chat after the show. All right. So welcome to the show, Aaron.
Thank you.
So let's get started here, man. What's your background? What do you do?
Done a lot of things, to be honest with you. I'm a people person, so I've been in sales quite a long time, and that's kind of my background with my life. And, I started working at a young age, in 13 or 14, back in the early 90s at McDonald's, and worked my way up into management there, and then had enough of that and went into sales. And so then, working for corporate, I just decided, about a year and a half, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now, to just get out of it. And, my father passed away, and he kind of left us quite a lump sum of money. So
Sorry to hear that, man. No money's
gonna
the
right
ever take that man's place.
Right. And so it was the right time to just say enough of the corporate world and enough of I'm going to work for myself. And so I took some time off just to and it was perfect timing because of COVID. Everything was shut down anyway. So, there was talk of me losing my job anyways at the time. So I'm like, you know what? It's not going to hurt me any.
So how'd you get into 3D printing, man? How did this all start?
So basically, my brother-in-law had this as a hobby. He's a maker at heart. He's an engineer kind of guy, computer repair. So he just decided to get into 3D printing, and he's got a CNC machine and all that kind of stuff too. And so it kind of piqued my interest. I'm like, well, no, I want one. So he had an Ender 3 that he's upgraded just about to the max. And I've got that now, but then I went and got the Ender 5 Plus,
big one,
and have had nothing but problems with that. So it's working fine now, but we discovered that the actual heat plate or the heat bed is unlevel. Like the surface is unlevel, and that's how it came. So
it needed a new bed.
Yeah. So eventually we'll have to replace that. Otherwise, it works fine. And then I just got myself the Viper. And I love that machine, that Anycube Viper. Yeah.
So business-wise, when did you figure out that you can make money with this? And what is it that you sell?
Okay, so yeah, how the whole thing started actually. I love I smoke a lot of meat and stuff like that, and so I'm a big. I belong on a few Facebook pages. That we just show pictures of what we've smoked and cooked and whatnot on the barbecue and on the smoker, and one guy popped up on my one page. He's from around here in Saskatchewan, and he said that basically, can anybody 3D print a McRib burger press? And I'm like, well, I know exactly what you're talking about because I made those for years at McDonald's. And so talked to the brother-in-law, and he said, yeah, let's try it. And so we came up with a very bulky, I don't know, it was a huge, monstrous, ugly thing. But that's how you start, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
if your first product is perfect, you'll launch too late.
Exactly. I hear you. Yeah. And so the guy was just like, I showed him the render of it. He loved it. He's like, yep, I want that. All right. So it was done in PLA. What I did was it's not going to be food safe, blah, blah, blah. So I coated it with what they said was a food grade epoxy. And then I sent it off to him, and he liked it. He thought it could be a little bit bigger. It could be this or that. He gave me good feedback. And so we decided, you know what, we're going to do something. We're going to switch gears here. I've got one right here actually, and I'll show you. And it's basically we printed the mold, and so we turned it into a mold that we pour food grade silicone into.
Oh,
you can see
all
that.
right.
So then it's got half and half, and you just put them together, and you put your meat in between, and you squish, and it comes out in the shape of like a baby back rib.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so what this guy
That's a
did for
great
me,
idea.
though, yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. So we printed it in TPU is the soft one, right? Like it's the flexible. I think it's TPU. Yeah. Anyways, flexible filament, and so that we could pour it and easily get the mold out of it, and then we pour the.
That is so crazy. So it's a rib press.
Yeah, basically burger, but yeah. So we call it.
Holy cow!
The name of it is
essentially
ribs.
a food mold.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
dishwasher safe, food safe. Yeah.
That's so funny because that was actually one of the print ideas for product ideas that I have for, if other people want to make it. And look at you. Amazing.
Yeah.
So how so you guys came up with that idea from a guy who said, "Hey, can you make me this?" So
pretty well, yeah.
So did you guys design that yourself? What did you use?
What did he use? Doug, he used
was it Fusion 360?
Yeah, I think it was Fusion 360. Either that or I don't think he was on Blender yet. So
okay, and you guys are using Blender now.
Yeah. Well, and so Doug is no longer with the company.
Okay.
He decided to go back to his old job at truck driving. So just more money that way, and couldn't.
Sure.
Yeah. So we weren't to the point where I was ready to pay him full time. So
how do you figure out what new products are going to sell? How do you figure that out?
I scour the net, and I'm like, hey, I wanna.
Dude, I do the same thing. I'll just be going through Instagram, and you're like, oh, that looks cool.
Great, yeah, and it's how can I make it better? Either that, or how can I make it different? Or so my thinking is, we got creative. So another thing that we've done is it's a really heavy unit, but it's I have to go the other way. It's a what do you call it? It's a phone holder. So you put your iPhone in there, and it's got the cutout right here for charging ports, and you put your you get like a mini iPad in the back there.
And you design that yourself as well using Fusion.
Yeah. And it's we just put a log so that it looks like a piece of wood.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then just for Christmassy type stuff, Christmas ornaments that.
So after you guys made that first product, how did you guys? So you made that. The guy loved it. He bought it. Obviously, how did you guys get your first clients outside of him, like aside from him?
So interesting story. I loved how it worked in a sense. Because watching some of your previous videos with how people have gotten their customers, it's like bingo, and that's exactly what happened with this one. So I
was trying to see a pattern. Everyone's getting this, is doing the same thing.
He went ahead on his barbecue pages that he's part of all over the world and all over this, like he's big in the States. And he promoted it for me without asking me. He's like, just so you know, you're going to have at least 250 people coming to you for this.
That is so awesome.
And I started up my own Facebook business page, Off Access.
Congratulations, man.
And I had message after message after message. And I'm like, it's the wrong timing. I can't keep up with this for just 3D printing. What do you do? Like, so that's when we decided to switch gears and go with this. That way we only need 12 molds. We can pour 12 at a time. It's quick setting silicone, so we can do 2 batches a day. And I
that is so cool that you guys and that's an ongoing pattern from everyone who I've interviewed. It's like they come up with a product, they show it off, and everything just blows up, and you're like, I cannot keep up with demand.
Yeah. And so I haven't sold many of the new ones because we waited too long, I think, on these customers. But that's the way it goes. You learn, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to, because I'm working on actually getting my website done professionally now, instead of using Shopify or Ecwid, it's actually going to be my own.
Man, Shopify is good.
Yeah,
Shopify
I
does a
started
very
with
good job.
Shopify, and I found it difficult, but I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
So after those hundreds of people came and bought all that stuff, which I'm assuming like at least 200 bought.
I had to turn them back. I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't print that many in that
So
amount
did you
of time.
then take the money from the profits and buy more machines? What'd you do with it? What happened?
So everything that we've sold so far with the proceeds of where's the other thing? I don't have it. It was a coffee filter holder that I had, and then sold a bunch of those. I think we sold probably 50 or 60 of these, and we're selling them at $35 a piece per unit. So because of the labor, it's about $15, $13 to make them. So we figured, well, okay, we started at 45, and I'm like, that's too much. They're not going to sell. And I'm like, let's go down to 35. And now I've got them at $29.99 or whatever. But people are starting to take notice again. But it's just, I think we sold probably, I want to say 50 or 60 of them.
So how many printers do you have now?
I've got just the 3 still. I'm waiting for that, the new bamboo one to come out, to launch. I hope it does.
Okay. And what machines are you using?
Ender 5 Plus. Ender 3 that's been upgraded just about as much as it can, so it's a V2 basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Anycubic Viper, and we've got the two Enders are they've got clipper on them, so that we can speed them up if we have to. And Anycubic is pretty fast on its own, so
yeah. And what brand filament are you using?
Just whatever. It's been whatever is the cheapest kind of thing.
Okay.
Amazon. I do a lot of reading on, the what do you call them? Reviews on different filaments. Like I don't go with anything less than a 4 or 4.5 star rating.
Got it.
Just because I don't want failure,
Sure.
in that sense. So I don't mind paying a little extra. There's some guys up in Edmonton that have their own shop that they actually make filaments, PLA, and they're working on a different one now. But I'm trying to get hooked up with their stuff. And
so does color matter to you, or is it just the material?
Not usually. Not usually. I got all sorts of colors. This guy here, foldable tray, whatever. I've done it in rainbow.
So this is all sold through your current website. You're not selling on Etsy at all.
No, not at all. No. Etsy, like a lot of the people that you've interviewed too have said it's just not worth it to get on there, and especially in Canada.
They take a lot.
Yeah, they do. They take a lot, and to ship anywhere in Canada from Canada is a ripoff. It's just Canada Post is terrible. When I'm shipping, it's cheaper for me to ship something to the States than it is to anywhere in Canada. That's amazing.
I didn't know that.
It's dumb. So that's just how it goes.
So if since you have your own website, right, and you're not using Etsy's user base, how are you driving traffic to your website?
Right now, I'm going to be doing more once I get the website up and running, the finished product of the new one. Right now, I'm running it on Ecwid.
On what?
And on Ecwid by Lightspeed.
Okay.
It's actually a fairly good, easy to use platform. Not doing entirely what I want it to, but it's flexible with both my QuickBooks and Square. So that's why I decided to go that way.
So how are people finding you though?
Oh, like just Google, a lot of Google.
Oh, Google.
A lot of Google and Facebook, but I haven't used my Facebook. I haven't put anything on my Facebook purposely for probably 5 months now, 4 months, because I'm renewing the website. So what I want to do is a re-grand opening of it. and it's kind of it'd be a little bit not rebranded as much, but just more professional, more user accessible, easy to use kind of thing, and just kind of see how that goes.
Gotcha.
And what I've done on there too is if people have an STL file they want printed, I've got a setup so they can just email it to me through the website.
Yes, I was gonna get to that. So do you have a design service as well where people come to you, hey, Aaron, can you make this for me? And you're like, yeah, I can make that. And then
That's my next step. Yeah. With the course that you've given me, with
Blender in 14 days.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that kind of got me a little bit inspired. Now that I'm
Well,
really
that makes me
learning,
happy.
yeah, absolutely, man.
I get daily emails, people telling me how much they love the course. I'm like,
Oh
oh,
man, keep it going. It's awesome.
thank you.
It's awesome. And you explained it so well. Like
Thank you.
anybody can understand. Like it's just good. And you took your time with it. Like you
Thank you.
said,
I
actually, that
appreciate
was
that.
one of the first things you said in your intro to that video or to that live stream. I remember it is all the other YouTubers don't take their time with it. So, and you took your time with it to show people. And man, that floored me. Like, that's awesome. Who does
Thank
that
you. I
anymore?
appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, don't keep going with that. I'm getting better with Fusion 360. It's still a little tricky to me, but my brother-in-law is starting to get, he's here almost every Saturday to see how I'm doing with it, and if you can pinpoint something that I'm doing wrong, or he'll help out with that. But it's expensive too, so I'm just on the free trial right now, and that's coming to an end here.
And that's how we go with Blender. Blender is always free.
Always free. And I still have a lot more to learn about Blender as well. But the other one that I don't know if you know anything about SolidWorks. Is that any?
There's so many people who use SolidWorks.
Yeah.
I've never touched it.
Okay.
I don't try to fix what isn't broken. So
Yep.
Blender works for me. It's incredibly powerful. I love using it. I know what I'm doing. Why would I go anywhere else?
Right.
It's honestly a $2,000 software that's free.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
So, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, okay, so
how many products do you have in your store now?
Not too many, really. Actually, I haven't had a lot of confidence in what I've made, so I don't put it on there. I do have a portfolio of pictures that will be going on of things I've done. Most recent one that I did for a guy was a total custom job that I was able to do on my own. He gave me it was a fish finder bracket for his boat, and that it just totally cracked and
that's awesome.
Busted up. And so I was able to kind of put it together, get the measurements, make it. I printed it in carbon fiber for him, and he loved it. He's like, he said, "Oh, you sure you like?" I charged him $35 for it, and he's like, "That's it." He's like, "No, here's 50."
Yeah, dude. See, he knows. Like that's it.
Yeah. He's like, "Here's $50." I'm like, "What?"
Attaboy.
No. I'm like, I'm feeling bad because it took so long.
So that reminds me. So how much are you making profit on this, on food modes on your store?
Right now is Zippo, because I haven't sold anything in the last little while, right? But
what's a good month?
Well, a good month actually was so the first 2 or 3 months we did, I would say profit wise 1,500, 1,600. 15, yeah, somewhere in there.
Man, that's great.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey, that's 1,500 cheeseburgers, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I don't need.
That's 3,000 tacos. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I would say. And then, so in January, we had a guy come to us.
That's super niche. For you to make that much money on something incredibly niche is wonderful. For food molds,
yeah,
I mean, that's great,
so
man.
I actually, I've been working on, so for the ribs press, I've got a logo done up for it now as a separate one apart from my off-axis one. And so now I can actually, say with confidence that this works. And Like I use it all the time at home here. So what I'm going to do is I want to do a video of how, of this thing in action. I'll get my
Yeah,
wife to
absolutely.
record it, and just in action from, step by step. Here's what I put in my meat mixture. Here's how I do it, and goes onto the grill and done.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So I think that's it for me. I don't have any other questions. So
Yeah.
let's wrap it up for your number one tip for anyone who wants to start their own 3D printing side business.
Just do it. Like, if you're feeling uncomfortable about it or not confident in it, and this is, I still struggle from it, the confidence level thing, but it's coming, and I feel more confident now today. But that's the time you need to start. Is when you're not confident, when you're unsure, because that's what gets your mind going, right? It's a do or, in a do or die kind of situation. It's either you do it or what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. What's the difference between next year and now?
Right. And tomorrow's never guaranteed, but live for today. So where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? You're not, if you're doing it full time, then do it full time. You know what I mean? Like, you'll figure out a way. It'll come.
Cool. So
yeah, my motto is whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, do whatever it takes. It's
Attaboy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you guys stay till the very end for my tip to start your own 3D printing business. And my tip for today is know your numbers. Know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when I say know your numbers, I mean you got to get it down to the last gasket. Okay. If you are printing and what you're selling has assembly, every single part that's part of that has a cost. Okay. Whether it's 10 cents to make one, and you got to know your cost to make and produce one item. Once you have that, then you can charge it per item, and then you can know what's your profit margin on that. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know if you're profitable or not. Also, you got to add your advertising cost. You got to add your packaging cost, everything to the last sticker label on the package. That is all part of your cost. So know your numbers. Marcus Lemonis said it. I think he's called The Profit, the show on MSNBC. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And he's right. So that's my tip for today. Again, Aaron, dude.
Yes.
Food Molds, thank you so much for being here. I really, really
Sure.
appreciate it. Fantastic product. Congratulations. And we'll do this again later in the future. I'll check on you. We'll do another episode on where are they now.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that. And so the other thing we talked about just briefly last night was the cookie cutters. So I do have numbers on that too. I thought I was only going to be
let's put that in the bonus section.
Oh, sure.
Let's do it for the bonus section.
Done deal.
Cookie cutters. What the hell? Where the fuck did that come from? How, dude, we've been texting for a while and you just bring this shit up now?
Yeah, just little things like this.
How much are you making on those? Dude, you need to market your shit.
So exactly. So basically,
let's get you on the coaching program, Aaron.
Hey?
Let's get you on the coaching program, bro.
Sure. Yeah. Basically, what happened was he got an email and they just explained their situation. They teach cookie cutter or cookie decorating classes here in town, and every 4 times a year. So this time it's wedding season, so they've got 4 different cookie cutters that they want printed, and so basically they want to pay me about $350 per unit, and
50.
it'll be their goal is to sell 100 sets a month, so sets of 4. $350 per individual. So that times 4, times 100, that's good bucks.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So that's kind of where that's
okay.
at.
Let's calculate that real quick. So it's $350 for one. Hang on. So where's my calculator? All right, 350 cents for one times 4.
Yep.
And they want 100.
Yeah. So 400 units.
400 units?
Yeah, because it'd be 100 sets, right? So it's a set of 4.
So
So
that's $5,600.
yeah,
Atta boy
right?
on cookie cutters.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah,
All right. So you have a great niche here, pal. And I think your niche would be in the food space.
yeah,
So you would have cookie cutters, that press. You can have like burger presses,
yep,
right? Like a tamale press or
yeah.
not a tamale press, like a
Oh,
tortilla
I know what
press.
you're
My
talking about.
God,
Yeah,
I
tortilla
couldn't
press.
think of it. But stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be your niche.
Yep,
You're already part of that tribe of that food space.
right,
And basically, dude, you would just go and you would do market research and find these guys, and you would go through your groups and you're like, oh, I can make that.
yep,
Right? Your Instagram, your Pinterest, whatever it is, and you can find ideas there to make them.
right,
You know how to design. I taught you,
yep,
dude.
yep, that's right.
That's all you
Yep.
need. You can get to 6 figures easy, man. I know you can.
Be great.
I know you can. Let's get you in a coaching program.
Awesome.